Once again, fellow Nigerians across the globe, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. I am George Onibe, and this morning I want us to look at a message I simply titled, Reviewing the Project Called Nigeria, and the Action of Nigerians When It Is Convenient. Honestly, we have been able to have information to everything about Nigeria. We have been able to evaluate our position, challenges that is heading us down as a nation. The true human being who are Nigerians are not able to grab the whole scope of the shenanigan of certain criminal-minded individuals. There is a project called One Nigeria, and sometimes we need to review this One Nigeria. Most of us know what the problem is and certainly have solution to this problem. But somewhere along the line, they call it a bluff because they have lost hope. But we will begin to call out all these people. We will begin to appeal to your conscience. Maybe those of you who are responsible will begin to have a rethink. Nigeria is a project. And for the once, let's review how far we have gone. You know, in recent time, there are clash, they call it saga, between ethnic groups in Nigeria. All of a sudden, the moment Igbo Biafra announced the declaration of 40 states of Biafra, Esha Godomigodo, Bini Godomigodo, Agadamigada Biafra, Ugotomokoto Biafra, I knew they know that their plan will not work, but they have to push false narrative. And maybe some shallow-minded individuals have believed that when Biafra come, Godomigodo will become a state in Biafra land. Esha will become a state in Biafra land. Benin will become a state in Biafra land. Agbo will become a state in Biafra land. You are hallucinating. Because this Igbo Biafra, they care for no one. They don't care for anyone. The earlier you accept this truth, the better for all of you. But amazingly, reviewing the project of One Nigeria, all of us have something to cry home about. As we want to go on strike, the federal government say no work, no pay. So if you like, go to strike. There is an issue there. We can go on and begin to review so many things going on. But everybody wants to blame everybody for the problem everybody caused. But that is not true. Because everybody wants to blame everybody for the problem certain criminal-minded people are behind. You know, lately, I begin to beam my satellites on Igbo Biafra, Yoruba Biafra, and Hausa Biafra. And this is because by character, they are the same people. It's the same agenda. But like I said, let us first of all review this project called Nigeria. You see, I was thinking about founding fathers of nation. And I said Nigeria. Who is that Nigerian politician? Who is that Nigerian military leader? No, who is this Nigerian that you will call his name? And everybody will say he was a good man. He was a good man. Only very few. And these few people, we can only say they are good people because the wickedness of governance of Nigerian politicians, they lighten the burden of the people. And out of these few people, we can appoint that, oh, this leader was good, that one was good, this one was a nationalist, this one is a pan-Nigerianist, all those names you give to them to make them feel good. You will see that almost 90% of them were unalive. They were murdered. And honestly, if I have to go by what I feel, it's not as if it's the right thing. I would say that Tafawa Balewa was a good man. He was murdered. But what exactly did Tafawa Balewa do for Nigerians? I can't remember. Maybe he did for Hausa people. Maybe he didn't have the privilege to do what he had in mind for Nigeria. He was murdered. And then I could say somebody like Moritola Muhammad is a good man. But what did he do for Nigerians? I can't really feel the impact. But let us assume, because he was murdered, he couldn't complete his One Nigeria project. And then let us assume Yar'Adua was a good man. But somewhere along the line, he died mysteriously. But what exactly did he do? Oh, he gave amnesty. He pardoned people who are not criminal. And now, let's just try and look at all of them. When you hear about all these progressing countries, you will hear somebody like this decide to act like this, and somebody like this decide to do like this. And because of this is action, the nation became prosperous. Now, One Nigeria project. Where is that president? Politicians, where are they? Because these people don't even know the project they are handling. And so to review Nigerian project, You need to know those who are Nigerian only when it's convenient. I know you are not getting it, but hold on. Let's go to the military. If we stay today, we castigate the military. We talk everything about the military. It's okay. It's just because absolute power corrupts absolutely. It is just because when the military is in power, the constitution is suspended. And so they enact decree. It's just because nobody can question them. And it's just because it can create room for tyranny, unchecked policies, to mention but a few. But let's look at the project called Nigeria. Almost all the visible thing we can see today is the handwork of the military. And let's look at Ibrahim Babangida. I don't know what he did in other states. But in Lagos State, I think he's the one who constructed the Third Mainland Bridge. As of that time, it was referred to as the longest bridge in Africa. The legacy still stands today, but he's a military man. And I'm sure they didn't do fake job there. It may not be an international standard bridge, but it's still standing till today. How many years on? I can remember that you can travel from Onitsha, Head Bridge, down to Ring Road, if not to Lagos State. Was the handwork of Babangida. He dualized that route. Since Babangida till today, all we are hearing is NEMA, Farmer, Robber, Ruba, Road Amendment, this one. These are the project of one. Let's review it. And each time anybody is coming to tell you, you have to vote for us, you have to vote for us, check what did they do in their constituency. Check what did they do for the overall interest of One Nigeria project. You will see nothing to show for it. But there is a game, they hyper, so you believe they are doing it for Nigeria. But this is when the issue of being, when a Nigeria is not a Nigeria, will not come forward. So most of us are Nigeria only when it is convenient. That is all this game you are playing, just to have their own fair share. But as ordinary Nigeria, you can feel bad. And so he's talking about my people, he's insulting Yoruba, he's insulting Igbo, he's insulting Hausa. Yoruba will say, Wolo Komi. It's your business. Somebody in my yesterday broadcast was asking me, this one you are calling out other tribes who did bad. What about your people? And let me answer that question because of this topic. I am not calling out all the tribes. I'm calling out Wazobia because of their body language, because of their impact, because of what they have done in the name of One Nigeria. Why will I call Ogoja man? Why will I call Ikuri man? No, why will I call Ejo man? Why will I call Oguni man? And I made it clear to that young man. I say, see, when Agbo man misbehave, we call him a bluff. And I can tell you from the history of Nigeria that we know, only one Agbo man messed up. He allowed himself to be used. And that is Emefiele, the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He destroyed Nigeria. He added more sufferings to Nigeria. But look at Emefiele, no Agbo person. They only went for condolence visit. They only advised him to be courageous, be strong. You will put through. But no Agbo person will come out and begin to shout, let's look at Emefiele matter. Even though we know there is nothing like equity, not to talk of fairness. Because President Ahmed Bola Tinubu cannot tell us that this Emefiele trial, Emefiele was able to pull this shot without the influence of Yoruba, Hausa, or Igbo. He was just a puppet. They just use him. Where is Buhari that used him to suffer Tinubu? And when you look at the trial going on, it's just a matter of issue of political vendetta. What they did to Tinubu, Emefiele has to collect his own. Now, whether it is the issue of political vendetta or not, Emefiele should have had a conscience. According to our value, you cannot kill Nigerians that you were asked to serve. Today, we use almost 6 different currency aligning each other. Thank God for Emefiele. Because your 200 naira is 2 color. Your 500 naira is 2 color. We don't even know the one that is fake or the one that is original. Thanks to Emefiele. He didn't complete good law project of erasing Islamic inscription in the naira. And thanks to those who put Islamic inscription in Nigeria, because we are now Islamic nation. Nigeria is a project. I need you to pay attention. But all these things, Emefiele toppled it and helped us to be buying our money. Today, because of Agbo man, we now buy our money. But this Agbo man cannot pull this shot, except he was sponsored by Yoruba, Hausa man, or Igbo man. That is the One Nigeria project. That is the only thing that makes a Nigerian to be a Nigerian when it is convenient. I'm coming. And so today, every leader, what they aim at is developing their region. As far as it is majority, their target is not to develop Nigeria. Forget about all these things they are doing. Ahmed Bola Tinubu, by the grace of God, is building coastal rail and road aeroplane for us. Let us see what happened after 8 years. Because the East-West Road has been under construction more than 40 years now. They never conclude the project. But we can't judge him. Let him finish. We shall talk about him. But while everything is going on, all of you should know that gradually Nigerians are knowing the truth. The only president that comes from minority could not function. I'm not sure even tied one road in his community, except the one that lead to his house. That is Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He was there trying to please Hausa, not Nigeria. This is when a Nigeria is not a Nigeria. This is what characterized the project called Nigeria. This is the reason why every Nigerian will have to suffer for a very long time until we begin to renew our mind. My message is simple. If we are Nigerians, this is the time we come out and understand that what is good for the goose is good for the ganjas. And this is the time we must accept that all of us need electricity. All of us need good road to access our community. All of us need medical healthcare, access to medical facility. All of us need protections of life and property. And it does not matter who is representing us. He must make it readily available for all of us. Until then, you that is holding another person down, you are not going anywhere. But if you try to review this project called Nigeria, you begin to see lashback. You see those people they call Abe governor on TikTok, all these useless Nigerians in diaspora, not all of them. It looks like almost 80% of Nigerians in diaspora now don't have job again because of free data. They now sit down in one room and sit on TikTok. This Abe group of people say they are Yoruba. All they are doing is judging Benin. Oh, Benin no do this one. Oh, Igbo do this one. Oh, this one. And in their mind, they are the one to give us saga. All of them are the learn work. And then you see another Yoruba on TikTok. They are giving you historian of Yoruba people. Una no get shame. The same madness of Igbo people. That is what you want to bring. It is not the hatred of anybody that drives us. It's as simple as you can lie to a blind man that there is no oil in the soup he's eating. But you can't deceive a blind man that there is no salt in the food of a blind man. And if you want to deceive a blind man and you put small sand inside the soup of a blind man, the blind man may not know. But when you pour too much sand, the blind person will know. That is the meaning of that parable I gave to you in Agbo. And so when you hide under the umbrella of Hausa and you are playing your one Nigeria politics, what has it led? What is the development? What is the evidence of good governance you have given to us as Hausa man? You, Yoruba, what is the evidence of good governance you have given to us as Yoruba? The opportunity the Igbo have, all of us would have been dead by today. Yoruba feel it, Hausa feel it, and that is why they are afraid of Igbo man going there. Not because anybody don't want Igbo man to go there, but who know what our life will become? Who know? And until they clear that orientation they are giving to their people, they will only come out and contest year after year, year after year. And the more they do it, the more they will become relevant. And this is the law of nature. It's applicable to any tribe that continue to do that. Nigeria is sitting on the blood of our innocent people. Review the project now. 90% of anything we can boast for today is the handwork of the imperialists. The imperialists we can sit and criticize and condemn. We know they are still playing game from behind closed doors. We know most of you are still puppets. But what they leave for us is the only thing that remains. And now it comes to the era where a Nigeria is not a Nigeria, which is the major focus on this broadcast. When the colonial masters were evacuating Africa and most of their colony, each of these countries has policy on how to manage their investment. Nigeria is a British investment. The policy they decide to use is known as indirect rule. The British say they will not come and be ruling us with Lord Lugard, with Macpherson, or with Clifford. There was no need for Mary Slessor to give us name, Flora Shaw to give us name. There was no need for Mary Slessor to stop the killing of twins. No need for Mungo Park and the Landa brothers to discover Nigeria. There was no need for them to interfere. We were going to do the job for them. And so the policy of indirect rule gives room and promotes a Nigerian only when it is convenient. And that is when it gives birth to the idea when a Nigerian is not a Nigerian. You think everybody tell you we are one Nigeria. Go and look at that Yoruba platform that say they are Abe governor. Go and look at the signboard of one Nigeria they are carrying. These people are not Nigeria. I'm coming. And so the policy of indirect rules allow you to do to your people what the imperialists would have done to them But then you will pretend you are the one leading your people, but you are just doing their bidding. That is when a Nigerian is not a Nigerian. And I ask again, look at all these projects, all this billion, all this money they are borrowing. What actually improved in Nigeria? Is it the electricity grid? Is it vehicle that we are manufacturing? Of course, we have the capacity. There are many naval bases that are producing ships. There are many companies that can manufacture vehicles, including aircraft, right here in Nigeria. Why are they suffocating them? Nigerians will produce cheap and tell you they imported it 100 billion. Why are they doing that? What exactly can we boast of? Football and musicians, celebrity. No, what exactly? But meanwhile, majority of us, our mind is that we are only Nigeria when it is convenient. This is where the issue of Wazobia comes in. Ordinarily, if we were here to rule ourselves by ourselves, these are the mindset, these are the characteristics, these are the way we're supposed to behave. Go to Singapore, you will see how they run their country. About 8 or 7 districts. They make sure that development reach out to every district. But when a president comes from Nigeria, he's only in Nigeria for his people. Get this truth and have peace. Look at President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. 99.9% of every major office in Nigeria is Yoruba people. I will not fault him. Do you know why? Because if you put another tribe, they will sabotage him. When in Nigeria, it's not in Nigeria. So for him to survive, he will have to do that. And Hausa will stand on this ground and justify their action. And Igbo will stand on this ground and justify their action. Minority don't have a say. But when you look at these people, they are not who they say they are. Let's clear it a little bit. Let's go to Yoruba. If you look at Sanwo-Olu, I think it's a Lagosian. But go and check Sanwo-Olu father. 3 father before Sanwo-Olu. You will see it's Ijebu man. But today is a Lagosian. And so whose interest is he promoting? Yoruba interest. Whether you like it or not, Sanwo-Olu will protect Ijebu interest before any other interest. And by the time you look at the other hand, the Oba of Lagos, go and check the Oba of Lagos. Check 3 father before that Oba of Lagos. You will see, you will trace his father first of all back to Ijebu. And from Ijebu, you will trace the other father to Benin. That Oba of Lagos, go and ask him, let him tell you the truth. His great-grandfather is a Benin man. When a Nigerian is not a Nigerian. Today, he can't tell you, yes, I'm come from Benin. My ancestors descend from Benin. This is one of the reasons I respect Asari Dokubo. He's a Ijaw man now. But he always tell you his father is Igbo man. But today, you see, I am a Ijaw man. And now, there is a difference between Asari Dokubo and you that know that you are Benin. Today, you are hiding under Yoruba. That is when a Nigerian is not a Nigerian. That is why we cannot solve Nigerian problem. Because most of you are Nigerian based on convenience, what you are going to benefit. I know you are not getting it. Today, there is a man known as Shiwore. He's a German. But he has claimed to be Yoruba. We leave him, let him be Yoruba. But he's doing what he's doing. Hey, he's marching for Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, they are going to march for Nnamdi Kanu. And some Igbo people are happy. Yes, he's better than our politician. So Shiwore is now an Igbo man. For convenience sake. In his mind, IPOB will come and vote for him. Shiwore, IPOB is gone. They were drowned by Nnamdi Kanu. The people you see there are the people Nnamdi Kanu's sister is using our money to sustain. Go. That idiot they call Darlington Chibuike. Maybe I will have to send his post where you know when in Nigeria is not in Nigeria. He has come back as he the hot, as he the pepper. That was the platform they built to destroy who they cannot destroy. That was the platform they wound the animal they cannot kill. Now he has come out to tell Igbo people, yes, Shiwore have come. He now want to incite Igbo people. Yes, we must support Shiwore. Yes, they must release Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, yes. When in Nigeria is not in Nigeria. Shiwore is not doing that because he loves Nigeria. Shiwore is not doing that because he loves Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going through the fight to bring out when Nnamdi Kanu demolished Shiwore. He demolished Shiwore. And so all of a sudden, he is now fighting for justice and fairness. He's a Yoruba. Hide under the umbrella of Yoruba. A Jaw will never have a say in Nigeria when people like you begin to behave like that. A Foba of Lagos can trace his great-grandfather back to Benin, and today he's keeping quiet. And some people say they are Abe governor, useless set of those people who say they are Yoruba, they are in London or wherever. They don't have job. They sit on TikTok from morning to night telling you, we the historian, no get shame. We are Nigerian only when it's convenient. That mentality must be destroyed. Let me digress a little bit. You see, I am an Agbo man. And in no cases, I say I'm a car man. There are things we don't want to see. We don't want to hyper it until we grow to the level of maturity to handle it. And because we are using kids' glove to address that issue, it's tearing Agbo people apart gradually. It's giving access to Igbo Biafra unity beggar to infiltrate us. You see, when I was a child, we are Ika, a name given to us, United Kingdom of Agbo. When you use the Eka, it's just like you want to bring all the whole Agbo together. And to the best of my knowledge, I've spent more than 5 decades. I'm not your mate. And so let us say 50 years ago, when they ask you, where do you come from? You will say, I'm from Agbo. And somebody who knows Agbo will ask you, which side of Agbo? And that is when you begin to hear Munede, Akumaze, Otolokbo, Ekuku Agbo, Emohon, so on and so forth. Ekmo, Alagwa, Ibake. But you see, for some reason, when an Agbo man is not an Agbo man, everybody wants to topple somebody. Not because of the interest of Agbo people, but for the interest of the position they occupy. Today, the very palace that is the cardinal point of Eka spirituality is being desecrated without anybody knowing. I'm an Agbo man. And when you ask me which side of Agbo, I will tell you, I am Utopo man. Though I am born and raised up in Orogodo. Canon Utopo Kenwo. But this time I say I am Agbo man, I'm talking about the larger family. I just have to agree, I'm a Kama, because somewhere along the line, somebody is going to play politics with that name Eka, and we are on our guard. And by the time you look into the history of Agbo, it's not actually Agbo, it is Agbon. Agbon. All these things were not necessary until individuals who want to feed on the misery of other people will begin to distort history. Exactly what they are doing up there. For those who are the historians, all of you causing the same problem, Igbo people are causing. And in your mind, let's fight this one. You are not fighting anybody. You are not going anywhere. You want fairness, you want justice, you want equity, you want transparency. If Nigeria is a project, let's do the project. All of us as Nigeria. Not you becoming Nigeria when it's convenient. You talk to Hausa person, give us Arewa nation. You talk to Yoruba person, give us Oduduwa nation. You talk to Igbo person, give us Biafra nation. And when I tell you Wazobia is the problem, you will tell me Tinubu is the governor. I don't have shade. You hate me. Your love meant nothing to me. All of you. You can only deceive your people. When we sit back and we hear those jobless and husbandless people who say they are Yoruba on TikTok, hear them yapping. I think they are talking to small children. Patient people are still here. If you don't even know anything about your own spirituality. You want to tell me about my spirituality. But let's look at if we are focusing on the project of Nigeria. That project called Nigeria. You will see that by the time you begin to mention the names of our ancestors, you will see Bini and Yoruba will become one. By the time you begin to trace origin, you will see Bini and Yoruba will become one. But if you trace this history back, it will affect or puncture some people's ego. So they will want to destroy Bini because Bini cannot take glory when that issue is raised. Okay, let's look at it. Lagos State. Ekolawa. Abi, Eko. It's a Eko Yoruba name. Or did Bini conquer Yoruba? And I've just told you about Oba of Lagos. He's a Bini man. But was he really Eko? That thing you call Eko is not Eko. It's not your name. It is a Ekoi, place of rest. In Bini language. It was just a spiritual place for them to go. All they wanted is spiritual reunion with their ancestors. They go there, they do the spiritual thing, they take salt, they take Ora bead, they return to Benin. That was all it was with them. Was it not the Home people that gave all of you nightmare? Until for some reason, some people gathered and they are now today location. We are not looking into that. because it will neither make us nor destroy us. But we have to look at the project called Nigeria and know that the only way we can survive is to look at what brings us together than what divides us. But some of you think you need to keep dividing us as the imperialists did, so you will be feeding on the misery of other people. Igbo Biafra people will come out and be jumping. Agbo Ishigbo, Agbo Ishigbo, Ikure Ishigbo, everybody Ishigbo, you must be Igbo. And we are begging them, stop this nonsense. It's not as if we don't know that when we begin to tell this story, before you know, you will see how connected we are. But because some bunch of slaves dumped somewhere in Imo State, reorganized by Samuel Ajayi Crowther, want to become relevant, they formed this Igbo today. And all the agenda is people who have nothing to lose. They said that they will destroy us or they will destroy themselves. Who does that? That is when a Nigerian is not a Nigerian. I could go on and begin to point out, go to the north, from Nasarawa to Adamawa, and its environment, all those neighboring states. Go and look at them. By the time this one tells the story of their ancestors, and tell the next story of their ancestors, and tell the next story of their ancestors, you will see they have become one. But of course, because we are fighting to feed the ego of some criminal-minded individual, we scatter ourselves. And you, what you don't know, you come and tell me. I went to a community sometime in Benue State. The community was one. They answered one name. And then 15 years later, I went back there. The community has divided. And they are now two communities. For some reason, I will not mention their name. But the community was made by two sons of one man. And so they took the two names of the man and called the community. Later on, as they begin to expound, they have land dispute. They couldn't settle it. They fought among themselves. They killed themselves. Finally, government intervened. And they have to divide the community into two. Their name was separated. Do you know that 25 years later, those children born in this community never knew they were one? Now, whatever led to the division of this community is the same thing that is leading to the division in one Nigeria. It's the same thing that is frustrating the project called One Nigeria. And now they would have been stronger and better together. Now they have to fall apart because that which holds them together has been tampered with. Now go and look at what brought that division. It is individual greed. That is when in Nigeria is not actually a Nigeria. Because any Nigeria that is working against the progress, the unity, the prosperity, the well-being, the fairness, that platform of equity, you are not a Nigeria. Only when, forget about you can be governor, you can be president, you can be anything. You are not a Nigeria. Only when it is convenient for you. Now look at them. All they are there is deceiving you. When we search and search and search and get to a certain area, we say, no need. My mother is from Umunede. She comes from the family of the people known as Osunde. Ironically in Yoruba, Osunde. And when they were alive, they traced some of their family people. More of their family people is in somewhere in Ogijo. If you know the Ogijo, in Ibadan. Around Malinte. But they were Umunede people. And so when we begin to talk about the history of Umunede people, for instance, you will be shocked. Like I've always told you, no community was formed by one person. But one person can decide to dominate anybody, but only on the ground to distort history. So those of you who are distorting history, who do you think you are fooling? Iboma will tell me, you are fake, you are nobody. Who are you? But if I'm nobody, how does that benefit you? But if I'm somebody and you want to talk me down, what do you want to gain from there? It is this truth that drives us. Nothing more, nothing less. So if you are in Nigeria, you are under the Wazobia. It's time you begin to think on a wider range. These people you are trying to destroy. Somewhere along the line. Surprisingly, you people may be the same people. You go to Yoruba land, for instance. There is a strife for other Yoruba against Ijebu people. I've heard a lot of Yoruba tell you that Ijebu are Igbo people. And some Igbo history storyteller can tell you that we were in Oyo, maybe they abandoned some of them. Go to Ogijo in Ogun State. And find out some of those history. And then let us assume all of us started from the same place. But as nature will always have its way. Evolution. We evolved. And we become who we are. Will it erase the past that we were one people before? And now what I'm trying to say in essence is stop being in Nigeria when it is convenient. Because the last time I checked, we are going to be in Nigeria for a very long time. Sure, go and do your protest. What's going to be is going to be. History writer, go and twist all the story. What's going to be is going to be. And for your own information, we are not folding our hand. We are not relaxing in uncompleted building. We are building an institution that you cannot fault. It's not as if we are perfect, because nobody is infallible. But you see, with this little truth we know, stand by it or show yourself. That's the way they want to commit crime. They will run under Yoruba, or they will run under Igbo, or they will run under Hausa. And they pull the shot. And the whole nation is mesmerized. How can you address Wazobia? How dare you address Wazobia? I don't hate anybody. And I try to love everybody. But the person who don't respect me, how can I love you? You that don't respect me, how can I love you? And so, considering the project of One Nigeria, let us sit back as a Nigerian, review everything we have achieved so far. You should be able to know where we are having the problem. Begin to walk towards that line. Maybe we'll be able to save ourselves. You fight on social media to distort history. You go back inside and make peace. It's a disgrace. You come outside, you naked me, and then you take me inside to dress me up. You are disgracing your people, not me. Our history may be erased, but no, we can still find our way back. And the best thing we have to do is to respect each other. I come from a community where one tribe or one quarter, we claim to be superior. And somewhere along the line, we claim we are more superior than the other quarter. And then when something happens, you discover that all of you are the same. And so if I have spent time telling Idumubu people that you people are fake, I have spent my time challenging Ibiagwa people, you people are useless. I have spent my time challenging Oweri, Ebueno, and the rest of them. And eventually I discovered that it's just the same people. How do you think I can swallow my pride if I'm not humble to go and make amends? That is the problem of those in the political arena. They all have incited Nigeria against each other. And now to come back home is a problem. All they can put off is a political show. And the ignorant ones will want to fight and defend a will that will never be. This is where I bring the broadcast to an end. Not everybody will understand. But if you believe in salvaging the next generation of our people, think about it. Just have a seat back. Think about it. Because your father do gra past my father, does it mean your father is more father than my own father? I'll go to the comment section, receive my insults, and then move on. But until then, Igbo Biafra, that's your unity begging. If you like, spend all the whole money. If you like, go and carry Obi of Agbo, go and carry all our Obi, unite us. Your mission is dead on arrival. Those ones where they instigate each other, continue. At the end of the journey, we will know what you have achieved. Look at our fight in One Nigeria. No, just look at our fight in One Nigeria. Peter Obi is telling you, I will not align with good luck to remove Tinubu. Is that what a moral person will say? Who tell you to come align with? But we know that was it. And we are begging good luck Iberi Jonathan. Please, don't come out. Don't run against Tinubu. Because even no matter how much I love you, good luck Iberi Jonathan, I will not vote for you. And anybody I know, I will beg them not to vote for you. Because they will use you. Let us see the fate of Wike. We are looking at their body language. Well, 90% of the sacrifice Wike has made, he made it for Tinubu. He made it for Yoruba people. He didn't make it for Nigeria. Let's see how Yoruba will reward him. Where is Amechi, Chibuka Amechi, Lion of the Niger Delta? All the sacrifice he made it for the Hausa. Where is he? Where is Peter Odele? He want to be president. There is nothing he did not do to appease Wazobia. To the extent he went to Yoruba land to take chieftaincy title. After that chieftaincy title, his life didn't remain the same again. Did you know the chieftaincy title they gave to him? Now, no get sense. Now, you build a mansion. How many rooms you want sleep? How many rooms you want sleep? And how many buildings can you sleep? You are not omnipresent. How many cars will you drive at the same time? I feel like you use 1 million convoy. It does not change anything. When diabetes comes, it will strike you down. When cancer comes, it will affect you. And so what is the essence? The earlier we understand that there are a lot of things that make money insufficient, the better for all of us. In the project of One Nigeria, everybody must be considered as coming from the same parents. And maybe how we approach other people will begin to change. I just listen to those Yoruba people trying to harass me. Do you know what Igbo people did to me? On their social media, do you know what they did to me? Mentally, they build me. And now look how much I love insults. Ndera, look at how much I love insults. Yoruba, advise those people. Tell them to leave us. You can fight your Wazobia fight. We can only point you to the right direction. Because kingdom rise and kingdom fall. It will not always be this way. And when you destroy so much, you cannot repair. That is why some of you are ashamed at times to hear the truth. I see my brother here, different black. He say, good morning, George Onibe. Sir, well done. Welcome online this morning. Thank you, different blackie. Of course, we know those who eagerly want a progressive Nigeria. And of course, that's the only and this note will bring the broadcast to an end. But the Igbo Biafra people, Yoruba Biafra people, Hausa Biafra people, drop your insult. I love it. Have a nice day. Don't forget it's uncompleted building. But the truth is undiluted. And advice for Igbo people, go and pretend, the reason that they can't, a German now, they pretend to be Yoruba, is leading revolution for Igbo. They don't want to catch on Amugu. Nigeria revolution now, Nigeria revolution now. Then the other one now that they call very dark man, he don't follow them. Oh, we are revolting. Look at them. Share, like, punch up, send me apple, do this one. Poor wretched people call you poor. It's a shame. It's a shame.